Hello, good evening, and welcome to Garblag Games. This is where Pete says, no, we haven't got the audio on traditionally. Apparently we have this time though. So now I'm just going to look stupid and weird, which is okay because I'm kind of used to that. Hello, good evening, and welcome very much to Garblag Games, episode 2, which is technically episode 1 of our Vaesen live play, The Haunted Hosts of Hoxne Hall. A spooky game set in the east of England, featuring a cast of turn of the 19th, 20th century characters. Wow, wasting no time, Narodnik Zika comes sliding in there with the first reroll of the session.
That's faith. That's what that is.
They haven't even started playing it. Give them a reroll.
Pete's fucked up the internet, so he needs a reroll.
So yeah, hi, we're playing Vaesen from the Free League, which is a lovely and beautiful game, and the pages feel nice. We're also sponsored by our good friends. I love where we say friends, like it's not like Rose and her dog. The Thornless Rose, who have provided us with some tasty prizes to give away this session.
Currently on screen.
That's right, Claire is from the Ascension Heist campaign. You have correctly clocked her.
Although I just covered her up with an image there, so I've covered up half the team with an image of the prizes.
The image of the prizes. Yes, the image of the prizes. So yes, there's some lovely prizes available today, and also next week, and the week after, and the week after that. So we've got plenty of stuff for the giveaway. There is still about an hour until we decide on the giveaway. So if you have not yet done so, you can head over to our YouTube channel and go into the Vaesen Actual Play episode 1, where you can comment on your favorite Vaesen spooky creature and or thing that you would like to see featured. Oh, that was actually a re-roll. Sorry, please, forever. That was me thinking that he just clocked Claire from Ascension Heist.
Well, he did that and a re-roll at the same time.
Crikey.
It was a twofer.
Yep. So there we go, 2 re-rolls before I even get through the introduction. But that's where we are today. So we've got prizes to give away in the break, which will be in about an hour or so. So you've got about that sort of time to head on over to YouTube, comment with the kind of spooky creature that you want to see or that you think might be cropping up, and we will go from there. In the meantime, let's get started. It's session 1. And we begin with our players all having gradually dribbled in one by one to Hoxne Hall. Not to the hall itself, because the hall itself is out of commission, instead to the Annex. They've been summoned one by one by Brigadier Sir Steven Hatt-Egerton, retired, to visit Hoxne Hall, which is unusual for buildings of its time in that it is built upwards and downwards rather than out into 2 wings like many stately homes of the time would have been done. Sir Stephen, however, lives in an area they refer to as the Annex, which was built as servants' quarters during Sir Stephen's youth, and the only inhabitants are him and his butler / steward, Culver. The Annex is next to the hall. The hall itself looms over the Annex quite intimidatingly, and there is no electricity in the hall. So it's all dark windows and brooding stonework covered in a patina of moss and growing vines that creep over the outside of the building. This evening is the first night that you've all been together in the Annex, and it's actually starting to get a little crowded. Now, while it was built as servants' quarters and everybody does still have their own room, it's been used for the last sort of 15 years as Sir Stephen's house. So it's quite cramped and crowded, and Sir Stephen himself, as he is now in a wheelchair, occupies mostly the ground floor and tends to stay down there. He has invited each of our players to join him at the house for a grand project, which he has alluded, speaking only of their specialist skills and unique abilities, without giving too much detail as to what they are. Now, he has offered a stipend to each of them to attend, as well as room and board in the Annex. So who do we have? Let's begin with Sofino, because you weren't here for our character creation session, so nobody knows what you're doing.
No. Good evening. My name is my full name is. Where to begin? Reverend Heathcote. Excuse me, I'm a little nervous at the moment. Yes, my name is the Reverend Heathcote Huntington Greaves, but you may please call me Heathcote. I'm an ordained Anglican priest, and I am investigating those mysterious aspects of our good Lord's creation, and how they manifest in unusual places. I'm not really acquainted with any of my new colleagues here, but I have a passing association with Sir Stephen. Hello. Yes.
Oh,
Hi.
Alden.
no, fascinating. You seem really quite nervous, Reverend. Why would that be?
I'm sorry, is that a Bavarian accent I detect there?
Oh, well, Austrian, but you know.
Close enough, yeah.
Close, you were close, yeah. It's not so bad. But we were talking about you, not about me.
Yeah. You spotted my tactic to evade your line of inquiry. No,
Yeah.
I am. No, it's rather because I haven't spoken in person with anyone in rather a long time. So yes, I'm just finding my bearings again.
Been some sort of hermit, or maybe walled up in a tower, yeah? Yes, joke, of course. Hello, everybody. You all know me. I'm Albrecht von Wagner, the famed psychiatrist from Austria. I'm on my European tour, yeah? It's very nice here. I've come to England for the weather, because I have heard that you have so much of it. That is me.
Indeed we do, sir.
Oh, yes, the soldier.
So do tell us about Weather the Soldier.
Oh, the weather.
Lieutenant Cranthorne Thomas, 7th Brigade, Royal Horse Artillery.
A man of few words. A man
Has
of
got-
deeds.
He's got proffers a limp handshake.
Only has to give his name and rank. That's it.
He returns a
Introduction /
firm
torture.
handshake.
Oh, you have a rather strong grip. Yes.
And then, of course, her ladyship.
Yes, I'm Millicent Wortley Smythe. I'm here because, well, my husband was dragged away by some kind of creature in our car accident. And, well, probably best that he was quite useless anyway. But yes, I'm here because Sir Stephen had some dealings with my husband's father. I wouldn't have any dealings with my husband because my husband was completely useless. But anyway.
And finally, the waif, the stray, the foundling, young Agnes.
Hi, I'm Agnes. I'm here because I have a roof over my head and they said there was food. So, I mean, win-win. That's about it, really.
Food there is as well. Culver has prepared a hearty stew for this evening with great big, heavy, stodgy dumplings and a rich gravy. And Sir Stephen has brought a couple of bottles of wine out of his cellar that have been there for quite some time, it would appear. Looks like Culver may even have ventured over to the big house to get them out. There's still vestiges of dust clinging to the bottles.
Oh, dumplings, I approve. Yeah, it's very good. But there seems to be no sausage. Do you have something against sausage?
Of course not, my good man, says Sir Stephen, who's still got quite a powerful voice. His upper body is still quite well developed, and he sits proudly in his wheeled chair.
I will have saluted him when he entered the room, or when I entered the room if he was in there first.
And he returns a sort of short salute back to you, and he seems quite chuffed by the salute. It feels like it's been a while since anybody's offered him that kind of honor.
Sir?
I would make a note. The alpha male has asserted his primacy. Excellent.
You say that out loud.
Please, everybody, take a seat. Help yourselves to wine, bread. Do tuck in.
I open my flask. I'm not drinking this hoity-toity shit.
I will serve the lady first, unless Culver is doing the serving.
Oh, Culver is absolutely doing the serving, and he will serve the lady first, then Sir Stephen, and oh, crikey.
I'll get my own.
I like that you just got your mess tin out, a little tin cup.
Yes, the little, that little thing with the wiry handle, and I've got like a white tin cup.
You've got the whole. You have your own cooking pot.
This is, you
I've
can
got
do
a bayonet.
officer's mess with the best of them. You're not in the field now.
No,
This
I
is
shall
finely
take
pressed trousers with stripes down the side.
I've got my blue trousers with the red stripe down the side. Yes, I do.
It's proper velvet coat material right here.
He's not in full. He's not in full formal dress though. He's wearing a nice coat.
It is civilian, so
yeah.
I like the idea that it's like lady first, then the gentleman, then this rat that seems to have crawled its way inside. There we go.
So Culver comes around and he spoons some of the stew into everybody's bowl. That pours some wine. Culver is an older gentleman now. He's been in service for quite some time to Sir Stephen. He's down here somewhere. He's the very pinnacle of a gentleman's gentleman. He is butler, cleaner, mechanic, driver, confidant, gardener. He is all things to Sir Stephen. He's the sort of Swiss Army knife of servants, and appears to be the perfect image of a modern butler. His hair is slicked back. He's of middling build. His clothes are very well pressed. He's even wearing a tailcoat for this occasion, which looks like it may not have seen service in quite a few years, but is still in incredibly good nick despite that. Doesn't quite do up at the middle anymore. He's aged very well, and he has grey temples, but his hair has remained black on top, and he still looks quite well built and looks like he takes care of himself as well as taking care of Sir Stephen. And he then steps back while you eat.
How's the wine?
Oh, yes, I would like to inspect the bottle. Maybe look at the label. Yeah.
Make a roll for it. Use that reroll you got.
I don't have
I think we all got a reroll.
I think everyone except me got a reroll.
Oh, senior.
I don't need your rerolls, everyone. Don't need
I think Direwolf Reborn may have missed the point about him being the Swiss Army knife of servants. He has scissor hands and a corkscrew coming out of his head. His left leg is a knife blade and his right leg is a nail file.
And someone's put, it is the butler.
Well, obviously.
I'm not going to sit. I'm going to stand and sort of pace slightly around the room. Sort of keeping an eye on everyone, looking at everyone, trying to get a measure of everyone without talking to them.
Safina, you've just guilted someone into giving you a reroll. Well played.
Thanks, well done.
Okay, if he's doing this, I'm going to pull my big kitchen knife that I keep on my person and just put it on the table. No, just put it on the table, looking at the.
I'm not like I don't think I'm like guarding you or on sentry duty. I'm just like.
No, you're circling like.
No, not completely. I'm just like near the food side, got a little plate, and I'm sort of pacing back and forth a little bit.
Knife still on the table.
Okay, it is.
And the food is very well made. Distinct lack of sausage. I mean, for Albrecht, it's probably a little bit light. The dumplings are good.
Yeah. And the wine, how old is the wine?
This bottle is a 20-year-old vintage.
Oh, it's
if there's gravy involved, I will sit down.
1851.
I'm not an idiot.
Very wise.
I'm not an idiot.
Walking around with a
and I'll
plate
sit
like,
opposite
whoa.
the waif.
Oh, fuck you.
And yeah, you are kind of the odd one out in this picture.
What, me or him?
You.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, everybody's their own kind of odd one out. But you're the youngest and the sort of least familiar with the dining etiquette.
You mean cutlery?
I know how to use cutlery, for fuck's sake. I'm not like a savage.
Wow. They do say north of the wall.
gonna pretend didn't hear that. Just gonna pretend didn't hear that. Knife is still staying on the table. Just
So
Stab
dinner
it.
is had, and following dinner, a light dessert, pie,
Ah,
what
what
flavor?
sort of pie?
berries, it would seem.
Now, you don't know what type of berries.
Oh,
Berries?
there's an array of berries in there. There's strawberries and blackcurrants and blackberries.
Some
All
berries
things that could
mix.
easily have been foraged nearby.
Are these
Oh.
local? Did you make this yourself, Culver? You have very good hands. Hmm?
He says, "Thank you, sir. A pleasure." And once dinner is all cleared away,
Brandy and cigars, yeah?
brandy and cigars. Yes.
Now we're talking.
You have a
I'm still
cat.
sipping from my canteen.
So the table is cleared of all of the crockery and cutlery from dinner, and a carafe of brandy and another of whiskey are brought out and placed on the table. Little crystal glasses, again, that probably haven't seen the light of day in some time, have come out, and Culver is almost positively vibrating. He's at his serving best right now.
Apex butler.
Apex
Can I-
butlering, yes.
Actually, can I, when I'm offered the brandy, can I just take as much as I'm given and then pour it straight into my flask, screw it shut, and then give it a good shake with whatever else is in there?
Oh,
Wow.
I'd give a disapproving look at that action.
I probably did that with the wine as well, honestly.
How big is this flask?
Well, it's like a hip flask, but I've been taking
A
sips
couple of
from it.
liters, I'm thinking.
It's a hip flask, but I've got those broad childbearing hips.
Yeah. Yeah.
We found how to shut up Nye. That's impressive.
Yeah, just insult me, yeah.
No, we've been trying that for months.
Yeah, if I just made fun of the Scottish people.
So brandy, cigars, and small wafery biscuit things are placed on the table.
After dinner mints?
Wafer it in.
Naturally.
The lights are dimmed throughout the house. Culver goes round to putting out some of the electricity and reverts back to candlelight. And Sir Stephen sits back in his chair, thoughtfully holding a snifter of brandy. Takes a sip, takes a deep breath, leans back in and says, "And so, to business. I have called you all here for a unique qualification that each of you has. As I understand it, each of you has borne witness to something not of this earth as we understand it, something that the laity do not see. You've all seen something beyond the mortal."
I mean, I'm pretty sure I married one, but
We are going to have to talk about your relationship with your dead husband at some point. But
She already has
for now,
several
Well,
times.
Yeah, sums up
Any
perfectly, in my
time,
opinion.
seems to have been a total waste of space. I presume he either had a lot of money or a very large
Title.
cigar.
estate, very large estate, I think is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, that was the word I was looking for.
It's very large. We did exercises on some of the lower paddocks, I believe.
Yes.
Oh,
He was
you've been
most,
exercising.
most annoyed about that.
Exercising on her husband's estate. How fascinating.
Well, the bombardiers need a lot of space to practice their training, their art, and their training.
Oh, it's an art now, is it? Oh, okay. The making of the big boom. Hmm?
I'm loving the way that everybody in chat is trying to work out who the killer is, despite the fact that no one's died yet.
I do feel
Well,
slightly
I
like
mean-
we're playing Cluedo. Like Culver's going to be dead in a minute.
You're probably wondering why I've gathered you all here.
Is
Well,
Is there a large
Brandy
candlestick in the dining room?
Who's got the lead pipe?
that would be me.
a crowbar?
He does.
Now, as
I thought it was a cigar.
as you may have surmised, I have spent some time studying these matters. Indeed, the hall, as it was, once played host to a similar gathering of many friends of mine, and we investigated such things, and we're beginning to make some headway, if you like, into our understanding of the, well, let's put no bones on it, of the supernatural.
Oh, it's delusions, my friend. We really must.
Well, as one of my old friends himself used to believe that this was some form of delusional aspect. Are you familiar with the writings of Mr. Young?
Yeah, Mr. Young and his fancy archetypes. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
great fun at parties. He does many of them. You pour enough drinks into him, and it is so much fun.
Well, there's one of the things that he wrote to me recently in a letter was the supposition that it's possible that we draw on these delusional aspects of the collective unconscious and manifest them in our world to explain away unexplainable phenomena.
Oh, the projecting into the phlogiston. Ah, yes, I've heard this theory, but I think it is mostly sneezing.
Well, such as the case may be, we've all seen things.
Indeed.
Measurable strangeness has occurred in all of our presences. And I think we can all acknowledge that, well, frankly, something needs to be done.
Yes, hunt them down, kill them, I think.
That's not always the easiest thing to do. It would seem that some of these manifestations, if they are indeed of the unconscious, do not go down so easily.
They can be tough
yes.
blighters.
Creatures of the id are not so easily defeated.
Well, quite, Doctor, quite. Reverend, you've kept silent thus far. Obviously, the church has quite strong opinions on such manifestations of the supernatural and the pseudo-natural.
Well, yes. My intentions, my own field of research, perhaps lies outside the official doctrine of the church. But in my experience, I must say I'm not entirely convinced that these are entities that should necessarily be hunted down and destroyed, as my new acquaintances here seem so keen to.
My personal experience would say something else, Father.
Yes, you'll find that
Okay.
it does vary greatly between your personal experiences. There are such manifestations as seem to be horrific beyond compare, such as I believe you've seen, Lieutenant, and yet other manifestations can seem positively benign.
And it is my belief that these are all manifestations of God's will, and it is through attaining a state of grace that we are privy to these moments of divinity, and to understand them is to achieve a state which is closer to the divine.
Well, that sounds like hubris to me.
Sometimes
say,
hubris and
priest.
nobility, though, may be quite close together.
Are you suggesting that God sent down some creature to drag my husband away?
Well,
He
you
moves in
did say
mysterious
he was good,
ways.
so maybe he was doing you a favor? Yeah?
I half agree with you. I think they are a sign of divinity because they are proof of devilry.
Ah, the duality of the holy orders. Fascinating. The delusions are so many. This is so wonderful. Please continue.
Quite so, quite so. Well,
I'm going to give the Austrian a piercing, steely glare.
oh, it's all getting alpha male now.
1742. I'll do it again.
I'll get my cannon.
Yes,
Hang on. I'll come back.
A tiny portable one. You like have it like the little suitcase.
My little
handle.
cannonette. It's on my back.
Now let me invite you. to visit the hall this evening. If you remain unconvinced, then no harm has been done. And yet, my home is not my own.
Yes, I had a question. You said something rather ominous in your kind of preamble about there was a previous group. There was, underline the word was, a previous group. Maybe you could say more about this.
Indeed. But first, I would like you to visit the hall.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I'm sure
Mr.
that
Culver.
Sheba will bark up if there's anything around.
If you would be so kind. Culver hands the large, heavy key to the lieutenant. You will need to take lanterns with you. Really, maybe you should stay together. But please, take a walk through the halls of the manor and see for yourselves. Obviously, I can't accompany you. But what I can do is invite you to behold the mysteries of the supernatural for yourself.
Okay.
Question. Have we been in there before, or is it the first time we're going to go?
This will be the first time you've been
Yeah.
inside the hall.
Yeah, we've not.
Okay.
For all we know, we're about to have our faces eaten off by some kind of hellish ghoul.
Very well, sir.
I don't
Anything
see
else
this in
you require of
character.
us for the evening?
I shall promise you all that you will come to no physical harm. That much I can guarantee. Spare a thought
There
for
are no
those you find
guarantees
within.
that you can give us in this world that we're about to step into, unfortunately, sir. So we shall be prepared
Quite
for
so.
anything. And I'll walk over and I'll towards where the exit is with the key and pick up my stuff on the way towards the door.
The rest of us sit.
By the way,
and just
Aldoon,
go,
you've got
well,
another
Gentlemen.
re-roll.
Start using-
I'm going to get up and follow Thomas. And come on, Sheba, off we go.
Okay. I'm going to refill my
Keep a
cigar
snack.
case, down my brandy, have another brandy, and then follow.
Oh, we're leaving.
Come
Yes.
on, Father, come on.
I'm
Let us
waiting
go
impatiently
face
by the door to the
your
hall.
age.
Oh, yes. Thank you for a wonderful,
Can we give
wonderful.
Sheba a reroll?
It's begun.
Always bet on the dog.
If you, yeah,
Always
we're all right.
bet on the dog.
Always.
Yeah. I'm going to take all the things that they didn't finish, the biscuits and stuff, and put them in my pockets, and then I'm just going to go.
And the candlestick.
But I do the salute incredibly sarcastically. Like I saw the lieutenant do it, but I do it in
Good
a
job
kind
I'm
of
not
like,
in the room.
Yeah. Oh, of course, I waited for you to leave.
And so
You're just mocking the
leaving the
cripple,
annex,
right?
which it's almost like a row of cottages. But a lot of the ground floor has been combined into one building. So like a terrace, but the upstairs is almost separate houses and the downstairs is more sort of one large house. Like it's been remodeled extensively to allow for Sir Stephen's residence.
No, it's delightful the way they have knocked all of this through. It's very good. Yeah.
Culver comes with you to the door.
So, Culver, tell me, who did all of the remodeling for the ground floor? This was not also you?
You're too kind, sir. While I did play a part in some of the remodeling, we did also engage the services of some local contractors. The town of Hoxne has some wonderful stone workers. Very impressive work they do too.
Fascinating.
Since the fire, it's been necessary to live over here. We're hoping to maybe be able to restore the hall, but well, you'll see for yourself.
Sorry, the fire.
There was a fire. I was about to say, Doctor, yes.
There was a fire in the library.
Oh, this is a terrible place to have a fire. All of
The
the
books.
knowledge. No, this is a
Certainly
crime.
one of the worst.
Oh no! Was anything saved? Why? What? No.
The lives that were lost were more of a tragedy than the books.
I would maybe not agree with this statement, but okay. Depends on the books, I suppose.
And yes, the books themselves. And there was some considerable wealth of knowledge in that library.
Did you have many
What about the
maps?
people?
Is that a Pete asking me question? Did I make a map or?
Map
No, I think
books.
that's in character.
Map books. Anyway, he's just musing out loud.
I will see if I
Right.
can sketch you something for tomorrow, sir. But for now, we have nothing
I shall
appropriate.
attend to that myself. I pull out my
The
journal.
light.
Very good. Sir.
I've got a plumb line and everything.
Milady,
So-
do you require an umbrella?
No. I'll be fine. I've got my jacket here.
There's a light rain outside.
I would like an umbrella, otherwise my cigar will get wet. And
Of course, sir.
sir.
Here you
Than
go.
a
And
droopy cigar.
he passes you an umbrella, the stout wooden handle.
Ah, thank you.
Keeping note of the being ignored here, but that's fine. Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah.
Sorry,
don't
Agnes.
do that.
Was
He's
there
just
No,
making sure
no.
you don't steal the silverware.
I don't steal, okay? Jesus fucking Christ. I do say that in character. I don't steal. Oh, it's fine. Just reminds
And
him
Culver is
that
quite right. As he opens the front door, there's a light spring rain. It's nothing too severe. More spotting than anything else. The
some
moon
of the
is
lovely
out
weather of which
and occasionally visible through the cloud cover that is spilling light raindrops into the grounds of the hall and around the annex. And the hall is like a patch of darkness looming out in front of you. It's a very short walk from the annex to the hall. But it's like leaving home behind for a leap into the unknown. This is decidedly Orphic in nature. As you walk away from the warm candlelight of the annex and towards the dark stone and bristling ivy of the hall, the weather seems to turn a little more chill. The darkness seems a little more brooding, and the hall looms above you, silhouetted against the clouds. The door is a heavy wooden affair, banded with iron, with a large keyhole in the front of it. Leaves whip around the feet as you walk towards it. Heavy
shithole.
steel and brass knocker hangs on the front of the door.
I'm guessing there's nobody in, so
The lieutenant
well,
opens.
it would be polite to knock.
I will reiterate my point.
Right,
This
I
is
will
like
get
shithole.
everybody at this stage to make a roll.
I suggest, young lady, you keep a lid on that language, please. You're
I
in the
would like
presence of a
you
man of the cloth and a lady, and it's not becoming of a young woman.
to
Stick up
make.
your arse and spin. Fucking Christ.
I would like you to make an observation or investigation
I
roll. You
don't
can-
actually mean that to Pete, okay? Before anybody.
Don't worry, don't worry.
We know.
This everyone's well aware. This is a heavy roleplay game.
So
Okay.
investigation or observation at your
All right,
choice.
the band's not breaking up. Don't worry.
Can I add my bonus for Sheba to my investigation?
Yes, you can.
Yes, that's how it works.
I have a success.
Because, like, in game terms, Sheba's just like an item. As cruel as that sounds. Oh, shit.
That's disgraceful
Observations
to
up
say,
this.
Nye. Dogs aren't just items.
She's got feelings.
The dog is for life,
know.
not just for rerolls.
Did I
And
get
my liquor
0
has
successes
feelings.
still?
Oh, what's observation again? I haven't actually.
Wow, that's a lot of dice for a. Yes.
Ben, what's observation?
Likewise.
Sorry.
Observation is a skill.
No, but what's it under? Sorry, is it
It's
under
under
precision
empathy.
or empathy? Oh,
Showing
excellent. Okay.
Showing our viewers, you get a number of dice for your attribute and for your skills, and you roll, and number of sixes you roll is your successes. But in Roll20, there are these nice little images.
They are
No
really
successes.
Yeah, I
from
mean the
Nye.
rolls on this are quite beautiful. How many now?
No successes.
No successes.
No, because it's a 6, isn't it?
Well,
Oh.
Heathcote and Albrecht and the lieutenant, as you turn the key in the lock, Lieutenant, you hear a voice from inside, like a soft, susurrating whisper from in the hall. Albrecht and Heathcote, from further back, you catch a flash of light from inside, bluish, almost like a lightning strike went off, but there's no thunder or lightning at the minute.
Ah, Father, I think we have one of your divine manifestations.
Chaps, letting the dark get to you already.
Just listening
sure.
for intruders.
No.
So aren't we the intruders?
No, we have a key.
You can have a key and still be an intruder, my friend.
We have also been invited by the owner of the house, so I think we are okay.
Okay, all right.
Although she does have a point. There are things
that
that may consider us intruders, so we should step carefully.
Okay.
Yeah.
The door creaks open.
Now be
Because
quiet,
it has
everyone.
To, really, doesn't it?
Well, we do like the tippy toes, and we step on the first board, and it goes.
And
No,
you,
can we all just the heads round the door?
One over the other.
We
With
are
the dog
like
at the bottom.
Scooby Gang,
We're gonna Scooby do this, yeah?
you've got a dog, to be fair, so don't think much of Velma's attitude, though.
Elmer's a lot more wary than I remember.
So you step inside the hall, and the entrance hallway is a huge, blustery room. There are some leaves that blow in around the floor with you. You can see cobwebs in the lantern light. There are pieces of furniture covered over with cloths. So everything's got this sort of artificial white glow to it from the fabric covering all the furniture. And there's some dust that's built up in here as well. It hasn't been visited or cleaned in some time.
Have we left Culver outside?
Yes, he stayed in the house. Yeah.
He said, "I'm not going in there." No.
I'm going to take 3 1-meter strides into the room for reference, for internal brain scale, and start to draw the interior layout of the hall in my journal.
This entry room is quite impressive. There are a number of hunting trophies on the wall. There are some faded and dusty pictures that you can't quite make out very well by the lantern light. And there is a double staircase at the far end that curves upwards to the next floor up. There is 2 doors to the east and west that in a traditional stately home would lead to the separate wings. But in this one, probably only lead to sort of smaller staircases and or sections of the hall leading upwards rather than a whole wing leading outwards.
Sorry, we just had a Vaesen in chat that I had to get rid of.
Oh dear.
And it just... sorry, my computer is having trouble doing it. Sorry, carry on.
Nice to see Beowulf Reborn being our takeaway TT.
Yeah, he's up ghost.
Okay, so we have to experience something while we're here. Can I maybe suggest that we make our way to the epicenter of the tragedy, which would be the library? Now, in an English stately home, where would the library be? Do we think?
Millicent's probably the expert on having a stately home here. But from your experience, stately homes are built outwards rather than upwards. You're used to sort of 2 or 3 floors maximum and extensive wings to the east and west, whereas this is more of a tower
Yeah.
in that
No,
it
it's an-
stretches upwards over a number of floors and doesn't stretch out particularly far.
Hmm.
Interesting. Well, shall we not just investigate as we go along, see what we can find? I mean, Thomas is going to map it out, isn't he?
So hapless wandering. Okay, we can
Yeah,
do so.
well, I'm saying let's just split up.
I
It'll
suggest
be really
we
quick.
begin on the left and we proceed around in an orderly fashion,
Yes,
potentially
you prefer the left
2 or 3
hand
to a room.
to the right hand.
I
Very
nod to this and head to the right door.
Well,
So
we
where
can
does
also-
everybody want to go? Choice is yours.
Going to
going
follow
right.
Thomas in an orderly fashion with my gun and my dog.
Or we can split up and search for clues.
If
Yeah?
you no, let's not ask. Yeah, I go right.
Maybe. Well,
Wait,
Reverend?
find the ghosts faster this
what?
way.
I
I
in
do
a
again.
hurry. I will be following the man with the cannon.
Likewise, yeah.
That's fine.
Sorry about that, Shaggy.
No, it's absolutely fine.
So
Don't even
you're
get
all
the
following
dog.
me. I'm going to turn around and say, I suggest someone accompanies the young lady. Should not be
No,
left on
it's
her own.
fine. I'm fine. I got my
No, I
crowbar.
suggest no one goes anywhere on their own during this time.
It'll be fine.
I don't think there's anything of value that you can steal here, so you
I
might as
d-
well come with us.
I'm not one to steal anything. I just want to have this so-called experience quickly so I can go to bed. And my voice cracked. So there we go. No, I just want to go to bed. So let's just get this experience over with, whatever the fuck that is.
All right. Are you then going to go through the door then? No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through the right door, the opposite one they're going through.
Bef-
If
Just
it's
before
locked, then I'll just smash it. No, I won't.
No, all the internal doors will open.
All right.
This door is slightly charred on the inside as you open it. It appears that you have discovered the remains of the library. There are some fire-damaged marks around the wall.
I close
The
it
room
behind me.
itself is mostly empty. It looks like whatever fire-damaged things were in here have been removed. There are some boxes, wooden storage boxes, more sort of tea crates than lockers or anything serious like that, stacked in one corner. And
Experience. Hello.
experience. Right. Meanwhile, people who went to the left, you come into a small office-like room. There are 4 desks inside the room, spaced around. Some dried up inkwells with a little faint black stain in the bottom of them that used to be ink, potentially. There are some books along the wall, leather-bound journals by the looks of things, stacked along a shelf. Some more pictures on the wall, including some photographs.
Oh, I'll go and look at those.
Oh, you're on the photographs. I was immediately going to do that. But,
Sorry.
yeah, that's all right. I will.
You both go and like your heads smooshed together.
Sorry.
Looking closer at the photograph, you notice that in the center of the photograph, you can recognize the brigadier, although he's wearing a captain's uniform in the picture and appears to be a much younger man. Culver is stood off to one side and behind him. There is a large, heavy-set man with red hair and a beard wearing sort of an academic's robe. A short, stocky lady in a nurse's uniform. A squinty-eyed, tall gentleman hunched over, holding a rifle and wearing a big waterproof coat like a poacher or hunter might wear. A beautiful and extremely elegant statuesque lady draped all in figure-hugging black wearing a large broad-brimmed hat and a veil. A priest, another priest, an Anglican, bull-necked man, great big. It's almost like his head sinks directly into his shoulders. His neck is not really a thing. Bald as a coot, wearing plain black shirt and a white collar of a sort of off-duty, if you like, priest. There's a gentleman wearing a sort of tweed jacket and tight-fitting trousers, holding a pipe and bearing a supercilious expression.
Oh, I like this.
Sofino, you recognize
I thought so.
his features as the person from your search.
And
He's got a thin moustache on his upper lip.
and
Almost
just
seems to stand apart from the others ever so slightly, like he's there, but I'm not with them. And then there's a young, buxom English rose in an incongruous summer dress, stood right close to this statuesque lady in the black dress, holding a notebook and looking enthusiastic. And then in front of them all, there's a young boy, probably no more than sort of 14 or 15, quite scruffy, ill-fitting clothes. But Sir Stephen's got one hand on this boy's shoulder, and you sense that he's like a part of the group, like they all seem to care for him to an extent.
Do you think these are the chaps that he was talking about?
Seems to be. Sorry, I'm going to have to step away just for a minute. I'll be back shortly.
Okay, let's jump over to Nye.
Oh, I want to know what's in the ledgers.
So Nye,
Okay.
back in the room that's got the burn damage,
Did the door slam behind me or something ominous like that? So I'm like,
the
oh,
door
fuck.
does swing closed behind you. It doesn't slam,
Yeah. Oh, they're gentlemen go.
but it certainly closes.
A gentleman does not slam a door. Oh, they're gonna kill me. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
And a voice seems to whisper, "Watch that door, I can't have it banging." From
Hello?
nearby where you are.
Hello? Anybody here? Anybody that's, not dead? That'd be nice. Or dead. I'll
And
take
then-
anything at this point. Okay.
Almost imperceptibly, bookshelves start to appear, creeping upwards from the floor, sort of almost translucent, wreathed in a sort of faint bluish light. They rebuild themselves, but they're not entirely solid. There's this sort of apparition of bookshelves building its way up around you. You have to step to one side quickly as one of them starts building itself through you, and it feels really creepy.
So if I stick my hand through, it's all cold. And,
It's
yeah,
cold
pleasant.
and
like
it's slightly
jelly.
damp, like sticking your hand into mist.
Oof.
And that same voice comes again. "Have you brought my lunch, girl?"
Yeah, I've brought your lunch. 100% have brought
"I will
your
bring
lunch.
it round. Bring it
Oh
round."
yeah, where are you? You have to tell me.
"Second stack, fourth shelf."
Okay. I'm gonna pretend I know where that is.
So you're wandering around these ghostly stacks, which are now lighting the room enough for you to be able to see a little better. And you can see some char damage on the ceiling as well.
Lovely.
And whatever fire went off in here, it was clearly quite serious. And as you poke your way
Okay.
around, sorry?
No, I thought you were leaving me a gap to speak. It's fine.
Okay. As you poke your way around the shelves, I mean, it's a library. It's not impossibly large to find yourself around. There's sort of 4 rows of shelves on either side.
Mm-hmm.
Some central reading desks down the middle. And as you sort of make your way to the last shelf and turn the corner, stood at a lectern with his back to you is a faintly translucent gentleman, huge man, easily 6 feet tall, very broad shoulders, wearing an academic's robe and like holding some glasses in his hands, like little pince-nez glasses, and sort of holding them in his hand. He's looking at something in front of him. I just leave it on the table.
No, I'm here to ask what you want for lunch. I'm not here with the lunch.
And he turns around.
Yeah, you haven't told us what you want for lunch.
And seems to look just slightly above you.
Yeah.
And then he pulls a shandouv out of his robes, which is like it's a little kilt dagger thing.
Yeah, I know. It's never good.
I know you know. I realise probably nobody else does.
Oh, sorry.
Pulls a little kilt dagger out of his robes and says, "Come on then, you bastard!" and starts slashing at it in your direction.
Okay.
Meanwhile, over in the other room.
Yeah. Fuck.
So these journals are fascinating.
These journals, they're fascinating. So you take a journal down off of the shelf. Beautiful penmanship, handwritten notes, the sort of curled, elegant writing of a lady more than a gentleman. It's not got the sort of tight scrawl that you would expect an academic gentleman to write in. It's written more in a prosaic style, the sort favoured by women novelists.
Oh, okay. It's interesting. Can I tell anything about the character of this person from their handwriting?
Well, as you read, it seems to be the story of some kind of journey into a town nearby, and it's a discussion of the local area some 20 years back, but interspersed within it, there are references to supernatural creatures. In this case, there's a particular reference to a great worm.
Okay. How are we spelling worm?
Well, it's talking about a lindworm, Lindwyrm.
Well, that's cool. Okay.
Which is a kind of serpentine, draconic beast.
Yeah, we have this in our fairy tales and our children's stories from the deep forests of Austria, the worm. Okay.
And as you're sort of flicking through it, every so often the pages change themselves. They flick back or they flick forwards. Okay. And at one point, it's almost like a breeze catches the book and it flips all the way to the end of a chapter. You see it's been signed off E. Sherry.
E. Sherry?
Yeah, for this character now.
And then the book sort of lifts itself out of your hand and floats back up onto the shelf, puts itself away.
Okay. Did any? No, it's fine.
You okay there, Albrecht?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Manifestation blind again.
Fine. No, I obviously just forgot that I put that book back on the shelf.
Just as I didn't see my husband be dragged away by a large creature, of course, yes.
That's absent-minded of me. Anyway, this photograph you're looking at, what is with that then?
Maybe it's that group of he was talking about the people who were here before, the group that used to investigate. I'm guessing it's
the Lantern Society.
Oh, is that what they were called? Yes.
Right. I think their adventures or delusions, I'm not sure which, are recorded in these books, if one can get the story to sit still for long enough.
What do you mean, sit still?
Oh, nothing. There's a breeze.
Apologies.
I like the idea that Alden's character can just go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I do not speak good English. When I mean move, I mean sit stationary."
At that point, those of you in the room hear a sudden loud scream burst out from nearby in the room with you. Someone in the room is clearly screaming. A
I'm
woman
going to.
in great fear and pain, screaming out all of a sudden. So I would like everybody to make a fear test. Now, when you're making a fear test, what you need to do is choose whether you wish to face the situation with logic or empathy.
Logic,
And then you make a roll on the attribute that you've chosen.
And if you fuck up, bad
And
things
yeah, if you
happen.
screw it up, then you become terrified.
Well, I
Yeah,
have
I
rerolls.
don't want to be terrified.
Starting it early,
not
Ben.
Oh,
Right, I shall
success.
face it with logic.
Seems like going right was actually, you know what? I'm probably going to get killed by this ghost with his weird daggers. So
Can I do a reroll?
You can. You have one. You have two.
Do I?
I
yeah, they
believe so.
spoil us.
Oh,
Oh, faced with empathy and succeeded.
The sound of
gonna
someone
fail.
crying out in pain triggers that part of you, which is a caregiver, Heathcote. And rather than be terrified, you feel a sort of swell of pity for the suffering that this creature is enduring. Claire, on the other hand, you tackle it with logic. And you realize that you were told to prepare for some kind of strange supernatural thing. This is a strange supernatural thing, so this must be what he was talking about. Clearly, the oddness.
Millicent actually tries to tackle it.
However, Albrecht and
The photo has messed me up.
Lieutenant Thomas, you are both a little bit messed up, and as a result, you are terrified. You can choose whether you wish to flee, freeze, faint, or attack. Now, there is nothing hostile to attack that you are able to see, but you could choose to flee, freeze, or faint. I mean, it doesn't make sense for you to attack one of the other party members.
Just quickly randomly turn around and no, I'm gonna freeze.
So you have a flashback
Hmm.
to the trenches. You remember the horror, and
The
just
horror,
sort of freeze
Sorry.
up. Albrecht, what about you?
Oh, well, I'm tempted to have a little lie down, but I think I'll run away.
So you bolt out of the room at best speed, white as a sheet,
Yes, I must
fleeing
be
into the corridor.
elsewhere. Ah!
There's not a
Michael,
conveniently
get
placed
outta
chaise
here,
lounge, so
so-
he wants to run away.
Meanwhile, in the ghostly apparitional library,
Okay. Yeah, he's going, come at me.
whatever he's slashing at,
Yeah, it's not me.
it doesn't appear
No.
to be you. And you
Yeah.
see on him, hang on, let me make sure I've got the right chap. Check my own notes. Yes, perfect. Right. You see on this chap as he turns around, he's got this great big bushy red beard and this big shock of wild red hair.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's slashing back and forth with his dagger, something appears to be doing the same to him from above where you are. And these claw marks, 4 straight cuts appear right down his face.
Okay. Yeah,
And
that's...
one of his eyes is horribly ruined, and he screams, but it's like a burbling noise as his mouth is messed up by the cut as well. Then his robes burst open on the front as another row of cuts appear on the other side. 4 again, straight cuts moving right across his chest.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
He stabs with his dagger, and when he pulls his hand away, it's not there anymore. It's vanished from sight.
Okay.
And then he sort of crumples to the floor on his knees and then floats up into the air and hovers there, just sort of floating in the middle of the room. And the bookshelves dissolve around you.
Okay. Well, fuck. That's not good.
And the figure of this big, heavy-set man in these academic robes just sort of hovers there, bleeding from his face and chest and guts as he hovers in the room. None of the blood rakes it to the floor.
No. Yeah.
It sort of drips and disappears as it falls off of him.
Shit luck, my friend. Shit luck.
And then gradually he starts to fade out of existence
Yeah.
as well.
Okay, so it's
It's you are of the expert opinion that that man did not die in a fire.
yeah. I think I'm getting that. I'm getting that kind of sense. My detective skills are
CSI
definitely.
Hoxne Hall.
Meanwhile, Millicent and Heathcote back in the journal room.
What are the other two doing? Are they fleeing?
Doing like a skedaddle.
Bavarians run out of the room screaming, and it would appear that Lieutenant Cranthorne has
I've frozen
gone into
still,
some kind of
and I've
state
got my
of
hand
shock.
in my pocket, gripping something very tightly.
Oh
Can
dear.
we,
I'm glad the
can
psychiatrist isn't here.
Is there anything we can do to snap them out of that kind of thing? Is there a...
Smelling salts.
Roll a d6, you two, to see how long it lasts for. Yes, if you had some smelling
Oh.
salts, you can snap them out of it with those.
As in us two.
What about a swift
think he means
slap
us.
around the face?
Not actually to see if it'll stop it, just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Right, so they're going to be frozen for a few minutes.
No,
Okay.
he's frozen. I'm running round and round the entrance hall.
You're running round and round the entrance hall.
Is Sheba... what's Sheba
Oh, that's a
doing?
very
Is
good
she-
point. What Sheba's doing is that she has gone hackles up and she is growling at a space behind one of the desks.
Okay, good girl. Let's go and have a look.
And as you walk around the corner of the desk, you can see that the desk itself has been repaired. As you walk past it, it looks like it was damaged some time ago and has been fixed. But as you get around the side of it, you can see some broken bits of desk, but they're glowing a sort of translucent bluish color.
Okay.
And on the floor before you, horrendously butchered, is the body of a young girl. You didn't
Oh
look at
my
the pictures, so
goodness
you don't
me.
recognize it. Now Heathcote did look at the
He
pictures.
did
So
indeed.
you recognise the young English Rose
Who?
from the picture,
Yes.
and she's lying on the floor with her head at a strange angle and her entire abdomen opened up. It looks like something has ripped her apart and torn out her heart,
Goodness.
smashing its
reaction,
way
sorry.
through the room.
Wow, you're taking it better than me. Oh goodness.
Goodness.
I wonder if
Wait.
this is what happened to my husband.
For Heathcote, that's quite a goodness. And yeah, so this viscerally destroyed body is right there in front of you. So I'd like you both to make another fear test because I'm a horrible person.
Why didn't I have to make a fear test when I saw a guy get cut up?
Because I forgot.
Hello.
I was actually going to say, is it because I've probably seen guys
You're
just
heartless.
get
No,
cut
it is
up?
literally because I
Yeah,
forgot
you
to ask you
just
to make the fear test because the others had just
Ah.
done one. Oh, look at that.
Oh wow.
Crikey.
Oh, Father Heathcote.
He's a very empathic man.
Isn't he?
There's also all that
God
glowing
is with
blue
me and
stuff.
I am
It's
with
clearly
God.
supernatural of some kind. She's not really there.
God is with me, I am with God. God is with me. No.
Yes, as you come
Power
to
of
this
grace
realization,
help you.
Millicent, you do see that there is a faint bluish glow to her. And then her body kind of slides almost wetly around the corner as though pulled,
Oh, that's
twisting round so that it's pulled head first into the center of the room and then it vanishes out of the door.
follow it.
Quite like something I've seen before.
I've already taken out my Holy Bible from inside my jacket pocket, and I'm just holding it in my hand, and I look towards Millicent, unsure as to what I should do. And then I look towards the lieutenant, who is
Not moving.
I'm still staring at the photo.
a photograph.
I'm still staring at the photograph, like clutching something in my pocket.
Oh, Jesus
By this point,
Christ.
out in the hallway, Albrecht
Not
will
the
have,
He's halfway to the train station.
Come down and started rationalizing things straight
Oh,
away.
gosh, I'm playing with my ring. This one, not the other one. Yeah, yes. It's the subsonics. It is obviously the wind and the subsonics, and maybe there's a chimney, and everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Okay, okay, it's good. It's okay.
You-
Okay, okay.
You didn't see the girl then?
What?
No.
What girl? What?
No,
No?
just what would you say it was, Father? Vision, perhaps?
An echo of an event
Echo. Yeah.
past.
Ah.
There's the young woman from the photograph. 20 years. 20
May
years.
I see this photograph? Excuse me, Mr. Gunman. Oh, you tap tap tap. Okay.
As he comes over and starts tapping on you, you sort of snap out of your fugue state and come back to yourself.
Would you like a cigar? I find it helps.
Everybody seems to have moved.
Yes.
You've lost a few seconds to a minute or so.
Seconds to the minute.
Trying not to let on. Interesting. Very good photography.
Yes, no one will suspect a
Great
thing.
composition.
But we've all known those people in real life that you're talking to them and they're going, yeah, totally, yeah. And you're like, you're not listening at all, are you? Yeah. Yeah,
Yep,
no,
that's whatever you're talking about for you.
Might I suggest that we attempt to locate the young mistress Agnes and
Oh, yeah, I suppose. Can we take this photograph? Is it in a frame?
Yeah, how big is it?
Portable?
It is framed and it's hanging up on the wall. You can unclip it and take it with you. Yeah.
I would very much like to do that.
Okay, well, you can do that
If
then.
I may. In fact,
As you take it off and take it down, you notice that on the back is written the date from 20 years ago and a group of names. It says Lantern Society, and then there are some names after it.
Are they in any way indicating who would go to which, or are they just a list of names?
It is just a list of names.
They're not written in the order that they are
It's
taken
not
on the
useful.
photo.
Yeah, that's why I was meaning, like, because people do
They're
that.
not
They write-
well,
With
they,
a
they might be
number,
in order,
and then
but
the
then they might not. So it says Professor Ramsay MacDonald, Nurse Evans, Cade Byrne, Olympe Saint-Germain, Father Sampson Asher, Israel Redfield Esquire, Elena Sherry, Captain Sir Steven Hatt-Egerton. And that's it. It doesn't
Did you say
mention enough
Nana
names.
Sherry?
No, Elena Sherry.
Oh, right, sorry.
Elena.
She's got a
Elena.
buffalo stance
Child.
in the picture.
So it doesn't name the.
It doesn't name the boy and it doesn't name Culver, but you recognize it as Culver.
Okay,
that's
so-
quite
Well, presumably
Culver.
one of them
Wow.
could be one of the names could be the boy. We wouldn't know, right?
Yeah, so
That's
No,
Sherry,
there is a. Oh, is he okay?
the
Does it say-
journal.
Does it say
Was
Tommy
bu-
Smith
com-
on there?
It doesn't say Tommy Smith on there, no.
No, so the journal was signed from an E. Sherry. So I
Yes.
think this would be the Elena Sherry.
Yes.
Father, you said maybe your vision is maybe this lady.
This lady here,
Could you show me where you saw the vision?
and then he points towards the desk which previously disrepaired itself.
Can I
And,
investigate the desk?
It is a
I'm not
normal
your
writing
keeper.
desk, quite well made, teak, has an inkwell, probably has the best light in this room during the day, to be fair. It looks like a wonderful place to sit down and write.
Okay.
So somewhere that a person who enjoys writing would feel particularly comfortable and at home.
I rather think
Do you
we
want
can
to
put
make a psychology roll
You know, roll.
Psychology.
to try and sort of psychologize the?
Yes.
I mean,
That would
you've got
be
a picture, you've got her. You've read her book.
observation.
You see where she sits.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that would be
like to
observation.
psychologize her.
Yes. So make an observation check.
Yeah.
Do I get any bonus dice?
Nope.
Unless you have a item that gives you bonuses in observation.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it's the only way to get bonus things.
Oh, boo.
No, you can't. It's still a bit shaken from earlier. You don't really want to put yourself in the mindset of someone that just got horribly murdered.
But I was
If
gonna
what
try and
they've
put
said is
myself in the
true.
mindset before she was horribly murdered, but okay. So, Agnes, what happened to the young lady with the sweary mouth?
So you all heading back out into the hallway. We'll go back to Agnes then. Agnes,
All right. Okay.
library, floaty dead guy.
Yeah. Can I put my hand through him? Does anything happen?
Yes, yes, you can. And again, it's like touching a cloud. It's a bit cold and a bit damp.
Weird. Huh. So there's nothing left of the library. It's total. It's like it's just a barren.
There's the tea
room.
chests over in one corner. Those are real.
Okay. Can I go over to them and potentially open them or investigate them or whatever?
Yeah, you'll have to crowbar it a little bit because
Oh yes, that
they
I
are
will get-
nailed shut.
Okay.
But it's
I
not
bet
gonna
you've
be
got a
difficult.
crowbar as well.
It's not going to be difficult. Do you need me to roll?
No, I don't need you to roll
Oh,
because
okay.
it's a tea chest. The wood is kind of only that thick
Yeah.
on
Okay.
them.
I just.
And so you crowbar it open, and
Yeah.
inside there are books.
Oh. Okay.
A few seem to have some fairly minor char damage
Mhm.
to the outside of them on the spines and around the sort of heel and the edge of the book, but they all appear to be intact. Looking at them, they appear to be fairly boring books. Philosophy, Latin,
Okay.
biology, textbooks
yeah.
and
Mhm.
study books rather than
Academic,
stories.
yeah.
Yeah, very academic.
Excellent.
Can I pocket a couple of these?
They're not really pocketable. They're all sort of
Oh,
chunky
damn it.
old leather and thick bindings.
Shit. Okay.
You might be
I
able to
thought
get
you'd
away
like
with
it.
one of them.
Yeah, I'll do that. Whichever one looks the nicest.
We have to go down a few, but you pull
Yeah, of
one out
course,
that's
yeah.
got like red and gold
Yeah,
on it.
looks nice.
And the
Civil
pages are
engineering,
sort of
sure. Yeah.
slightly paler than a lot of the others. The writing doesn't make any sense to you because it's all squiggly,
Yeah.
but it looks nice. Might be worth more.
I'm not stealing it for that. I'm kind of just, I'm not. I'm legitimately not stealing.
Okay,
I'm
well,
gonna
in
go
that
give
case,
it,
you might
yeah.
not want it because it is written in Arabic.
Oh. Yeah, but that might be important. All the important stuff is written in Arabic.
Well, it's up to you. You don't recognize the writing.
Well, can I try
in
a
that one.
learning? I know I'm probably not going to make it, but could I try a learning to see if I know Arabic?
It's not something that you just kind of know. You would need someone to
No.
teach you, or you would need to have started with the ability to speak it.
Fair enough.
It doesn't
maybe-
seem the sort of thing that
I do
many
have a
people
logic of
outside of
4.
academia would have.
No, okay, fair enough. I would be rolling 6 type, but fair enough. It's fine. So yeah, I'll pick up the Arabic book then and pocket it, or as well as I can pocket it. And I guess I'll just put the lid back on the box, not really trying to disguise what I did, push it in the corner,
Yeah.
because I might come back to these later.
At this point,
I'll
the
exit
door
the
opens
library.
again, and the lieutenant comes in with the others sort of trailing behind him.
Hey, what's up?
That's probably a good point to do break and competition winner, isn't it?
I agree. So we are going to do a little break for a couple of minutes, and then when we come back, we will be announcing our competition winner for this week, who wins the notebook, the mystery dice, and the little packet of
Let me put the
dice.
image up.
Oh, here comes the image.
There you go.
There go our faces.
Well, you can see you, Aldoon, and Ben, but everyone else is gone.
Yay.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get a sausage roll.
There you go. You heard it here first. Nice going to get a sausage roll.
Okay.
We will be back in a couple of minutes. Take this chance to do a wee and refresh your drinks.
Thank you.
Maybe ensure that your children have been
Others do all the same time.
anesthetized.
See you in a minute.
And we'll see you in a
See you
minute.
soon.
Time for bed now. Got a gob full of chocolate. I'm looking super professional right now.
Stop eating chocolate
I've
just
got
before we go
raisins.
live. You're the
We're
host
not getting
today.
paid.
I am the host. Okay. Hello. Welcome back.
Hello.
Thanks for staying with
Hi.
us. Oh, everyone switched around. Did some people move around on the screen?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm now in
changing my dial.
Scotland. And
It's probably
Nye
Alden's fault. He's
down
the one
in
with the
Surrey.
twitchy internet tonight.
Am I down in Surrey?
Mine didn't go anywhere.
I got no picture, Pete.
Oh
I got my voice and
no!
everything.
Oh shit, my raisin.
Yeah, you're there, don't worry.
Uh-oh.
Oh, fuck.
No, it's just shit raisins.
I'm just
I
sorting out
hope
screens.
not.
We're live though, Ben. So
We
you
are
can
live
carry on.
and being professional. So, as you can see in the little namey name window, I have put 5 namey numbers from people who have commented on the Vaesen Actual Play episode 1. Now, luckily, we're on roll 20, so that means that we can roll a d5. And in the interest of super professional impartiality, I have asked Alden to roll a d5, or I'm just about to ask Alden to roll a d5, because it stops him whinging about how he can't win.
Actually, that's like horribly punishing him for wanting to enter
Yeah.
this competition and making
Yeah.
him choose
But
who
Trying to
that-
wins
make him
it.
feel included.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's what Garblag calls the punishments here, is inclusion.
Inclusion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't make me
You can tell the
include
Ben
you.
is a
Yeah, that's why I'm in all the games.
yes, Mr. Ben.
Punish the rest of us.
Terribly sorry.
So Alden is now going to roll a d5, and we will see which one of the 5 entrants. A little bit sad that we only got 5. Next week, we'd
Yeah.
like to have 20.
I think we need everyone in the chat right now to comment on the next video and tell us why Aldoon shouldn't win a prize. No, no, we'll deal with the next one. We'll deal with the next one shortly after. Sorry, Aldoon.
So mean.
Not
Roll
sorry.
your d5, Alden.
I'm gonna
Be included.
I'm gonna roll a 1D not Pete. Dun 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 dun.
He has rolled a 1, which means that our winner is Menno van der Lieden. So, Menno, if you could drop us a line, I think you can get the Garblag details from
Yes.
on the thing,
Yes.
which is attached to the other thing.
What we ask for is a screenshot showing you're subscribed to the channel and that you made the comment on the channel, and then we will get your address and send the goodies out to you. Menno commented, enjoying you playing Vaesen. Can't wait to start a game too. How about the ancient green man?
Mm.
You also have
Love
to.
green
You also
man.
have to send
Goes-
us a picture of you holding like a newspaper of the current day.
Yeah. It's not a kidnapping.
Or a time travel thing.
Or a time travel thing, or a muscle gain program. I wish it was
But it
all
could
of those
be all
things
of those things.
in
It
one.
could
That would be
be.
amazing. I've travelled back in time and kidnapped a muscle-bound freak. Anyway,
That's Herbalife.
Menno van der Lieden, thank you very much for, and everybody else who joined in. Thank you very much for entering our competition. The 4 of you who didn't win, you should definitely join in our next competition.
Yeah, because it's starting to look like a little bit of a Hunger Games thing down
Yeah.
there now.
If you last the 4 weeks, you'll win definitely.
Yeah, pretty much guaranteed.
They're not the
Now,
only people who can
next-
enter.
No, they're not the only people who can enter. Next
Viewers at
week,
home, you
we
too
have
can enter.
another giveaway, and Pete has got the prizes ready to model in his own inimitable style. So we've got some greeny red dice that look a bit like sweeties. Don't eat them. They're not sweeties. Greeny red, not sweetie dice. We've got mystery dice. They're diced, but they're a mystery. We don't know what they are.
No, don't spoil the mystery.
Oh, look at that.
Little
Teasing
tease.
you. Careful, or we'll have to go and put this on the OnlyFans page.
You have
And
that.
finally,
What?
Oh, hang on, Brock's BFF just followed us. Thank you very much, Brock's BFF.
Hey. And finally, for next week's prize, we also have one of Thorns Rose's gorgeous dice rolling trays, imprinted. Is that Coggy one?
It's the coggy one.
It's the Coggy one, imprinted with the steampunk Coggy goodness in purple and blue. And you can unpopper the poppery bits and roll it up to make a little roly-uppy thing. I have an A-level in English and I'm really good at describing things, as you can tell.
Word's good today.
It's stuff.
Yeah.
So
I'm saving all of my gratuitous descriptions for Hoxne Hall. Hoxne
Just to
Hall,
say,
not
I was all-
Hoxton. That's a different place.
So what are we going to get them to comment on this video when it goes onto YouTube?
On this video, we are going to get you to give us a nice horror quote. So not like a jump scare horror, like a spooky psychological horror thing. Something that
Trace
goes
the call. It's coming from the floor below you.
inside the house.
Sorry.
Glory to you at the inside of your house.
Trace the call inside your house.
All right, Gowron, get on with the.
If you stare
So
at
yes,
the
if you wanna
asbestos,
win,
there's that. Yeah.
The next one, which we will announce live on stream next week, what you need to do is to go onto the video for this episode's YouTube and comment with your bestest psychological horror quote to tell us what's spooky. Okay?
Cool.
We want the spooky.
Excellent. And Menno, well done, and we will be sending your prize out as soon as we get in contact.
Yeah, see, Beowulf gets me.
Yeah.
You enter the squarey wally thing, there's a dangly thingy hanging from the flatty uppy thing over your head. Perfectly
Exactly.
logical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all things should be.
Okay, consummate game faces, let's get back in. And we return to the haunted environs of Hoxne Hall, where Lieutenant Cranthorne has just led the remainder of the party into the library to find Agnes alone in a
stuff.
big empty room with a few tea chests.
I've
I'll-
totally not broken
Ag-
into.
Agnes, is everything okay in here?
Yeah, no, it's just an empty room.
Can I make an observation on Agnes?
Can I make a deception or a lie? Sorry.
Go
I'm
for
just
it,
going to
both
walk
of you.
into the room and start looking around.
This room has suffered some burn damage. You can see that from the room. The inside of the door is slightly charred. There are some fire marks around the skirting board and on the walls. Now that there's more light in the room, you can see that the ceiling has got some char damage on it as well. There's no furniture here, but there are some clean marks on the floor where clearly there once was several large, heavy pieces of furniture. And then in one corner, there is 3 tea chests, one of which is slightly open.
I got 2 successes on my manipulation roll.
I got 2 successes on my
2
observation.
successes either way. So you sort of eye each
Oh.
other up and you're trying to act all nonchalant and he's trying to penetrate the guise
You know
of your
what?
mental
Yeah.
state.
You know what? That's a lie. I heard a very girlish scream. They were saying something like, I'm leaving, ah! I don't know if you guys heard that. I heard that outside
There's a
and I
very
should
small
have
smirk on my face. Almost imperceptible.
Fascinating. You're having auditory delusions as well. Most interesting.
Eh,
Mm.
So,
but
Do
yeah,
I have
bugger all
my
and-
rifle with me?
Do you have your rifle with you?
Okay.
Would you have brought it over to the house?
No, probably not if we're just going for a recce of the halls and stuff. So I'm gonna the tea chest that's slightly open. I'm just gonna go and have a little look.
Books. It's full of books. Many of them have some slight fire damage to the spines, to the sleeves, to the leather bindings. This box has been recently disturbed and opened. It looks like somebody's opened it and rifled through it.
Are there any geology, geography, geomorphology, or map books?
Please tell me the one book I
ArcGIS
took
for
was that
dummies.
book.
Not in the first couple of
Map book.
layers. I mean, not on a cursory glance. On a cursory glance, this looks to be Latin, maybe some biology, physiology type stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah. Did you guys
Pastimes
say
reading.
anything?
It's a curious reading list.
Anything? Did you guys? I mean, there's literally bugger all in here. Like, I can't find anything apart from these lame books.
Well, I believe Lady Millicent will be best to describe what happened in the other room. I did not see it
All right,
myself.
okay.
Oh yes, you were looking at that picture, weren't you? Well, it appears that there was some, what did you call it, Father, an echo or something of one of the young girls in, you've got that picture, haven't you? Picture
Yes,
of those, the Lantern Society. It looked like she'd been kind of ripped apart and then was dragged off out of the room, but yes, clearly wasn't actually there. It was just some kind of, I don't know, echo, he said.
I rather fear that though we can see evidence of the fire damage within this chamber, within the library, that perhaps the individuals in this photograph did not perish in a fire.
Makes
And then
sense.
I show the
Perhaps
photograph
not all of
to
them.
Agnes. Perhaps.
Do you think they were killed here then?
I wouldn't like to speculate. Of course, now Agnes can see the photograph because I'm.
Yeah,
sorry,
I'm
I
on
showed
the
it
got.
to- So you would have seen a certain Scottish individual in the picture, maybe. But I don't know about that because that's player
You
knowledge.
have no
not-
idea.
From the floor above, you hear a thump and a scream.
Oh God.
Albert?
So I think it is traditional at this point to run towards the scream. I've never understood this impulse myself, but we are here to investigate.
We should cautiously go upstairs.
Oh, so not running. Okay.
We can run if you want. I mean,
It's just
I'll
it's quite
race
dark.
you.
And
Do you want to race?
you may trip. There are many. I've already seen about 12 trip hazards in this room alone.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Hey, doctor, do you want to
You're a
race?
soldier
I'll
or
race
remember the
you.
health and safety executive?
I'm starting to wonder, Lieutenant, about exactly what your position was in the Fusiliers. Like, no, do not run with the bomb. You must walk carefully.
Yes, never run with bombs.
Catch someone's eye out.
Exactly.
Doctor, I'll race you.
And you
We'll
always run with the
wager.
bomb above your head. Remember that.
We'll put a wager on it. Who can get up there the quickest?
I'm not so much with the physical. I'm more with the psychological. So.
Oh, come on.
Standing around in the library having an argument about whether or not you're going upstairs.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think we'll move towards the door.
Yeah.
Aimlessly.
I'm going to move towards the door. Come on, Sheba.
I'll follow Millicent.
So you make your way up the stairs. I believe Millicent did bring her shotgun. I can't remember.
Of course.
Yes, of course. Be prepared.
Never leaves home without it.
There's all manner of ne'er-do-wells out there.
Yeah.
So you make your way up the sort of curving staircase onto the next floor, where there's like a gallery that runs around with a number of rooms leading off of it. There is also another staircase behind that one, although this one is behind a set of double doors that runs up and back around again, almost leading back in on itself. I'm doing lots of arm gestures.
Feeling like we're in that
Emergency
bit in
exits
Labyrinth.
are located.
Going to need a map. Lieutenant, you are making a map? Yes.
Yes, we wish to investigate that door over there.
Okay.
So passing through into the door.
I would like to go in the opposite one.
You would, of course. So
someone go with her, please.
Okay, on this occasion, before Agnes departs, I'm just going to place my hand upon her shoulder.
I instantly go for the knife.
We are here together. Do not draw a knife on a man of the cloth.
And Agnes was also inferring that I've referred to her as child, even though we're probably a few years apart in age.
Only a little bit. Yeah.
One must tread lightly, and we're of a common purpose and allegiance. And
I just tread lightly. I don't like being touched. So
I understand, and I apologise for that invasion of your space. But I know you've taken the Lord's name in vain on multiple occasions, and perhaps you have no feel no requirement for faith, but before you embark, I'd just like to say a few short words. And then instead of mumble a silent prayer and bestow a blessing upon Agnes before following, because I imagine she's going to be like, ugh.
Yes, I am. I'm going to be very.
And
I sheath the knife. But I just put it back in my pocket.
And I follow Agnes.
Okay, so the rest of you make your way around this sort of curved walkway to the room directly above the library. And a faint hint of perfume fills the air, something sort of rich and quite exotic. And as you push open the doors into here, this room has got loads of furniture in, lots of things covered over in white sheets, but there's also lots of fabric hanging down from the ceiling as well, almost like the interior of this room, which is much smaller than the library. Looks like it only occupies less than a quarter of the room the library did. This room was almost made to look like a tent from the inside. There is a large circular table in the middle with something on it underneath the sheet that you can see. A couple of couches around the walls.
Oh, thank goodness.
I suppose we have to sit on them, don't we, for you?
I don't mind. We can take turns.
Do you say there's something under the sheet on the table in the middle?
Yes. I was trying to ignore that. Let me at least lie down on the couch before you move it. Okay, proceed.
Could you, Millicent, could you cover me with your weapon?
Yes, of course.
And I'll go over and...
As
Actually, I'm
pull
going to
the
do it
sheet.
slow, agonizingly slow.
Pulling the sheet off reveals an ornate table with elaborate carvings around the outside edge, a central leg with 3 feet. Its surface is covered in sort of the velvet stuff that you would use on card tables. There are a number of drawers around the outside edge of the table, and in the center there is a tripod upon which stands a sphere of clear crystal, all laid out with brass engravings around the table and crisscrossing the velvet.
May I recommend you do not touch or look?
And as you pull it away from the sheet,
Too late.
the sphere starts to glow with this bluish light that you saw in the other, or you didn't see in the other room.
Too late.
Here we go again.
This is why I'm lying down.
I shall psychologically prepare myself.
Cannon is with me. I'm with the cannon. The cannon is with me.
You see a reflection, but it's not your reflection in the ball anymore. It's the reflection of a slim, pale, beautiful woman with the veil thrown back from her broad-brimmed hat and her hands reaching out to encircle the sphere. The rest of you, Cranthorne disappears and is replaced by this beautiful, slender, elegant woman sat in a high-backed Regency chair.
Made up. Yeah.
With her hands wrapped around this
keep this one?
glass sphere, concentrating as though she's watching something far away and quite intense. Whatever it is she's seeing is something that is clearly bothering her extensively. As you watch,
Lady Millicent, can you see into the ball at all?
Can I see into the ball?
are you going opposite where Cranthorne was?
Yes, why not?
Going opposite to where he was is the side coming in from the door. And as you look, you also see a reflection, and it looks very much like the thing that dragged off your husband.
Oh.
This sort of large, heavily furred, elongated snout, slavering jawed creature with huge talons dripping in blood, jowls covered in blood as well. Easily 8 feet tall, looming up, and it smashes the ball. And as you're watching, so all Albrecht sees is the ball fall off of the pedestal and roll across the floor under the couch that you're on.
I'm going to take aim at the
Millicent,
ball.
meanwhile, sees this sort of wolf-like shape leap out of her and onto this woman sat opposite. Pete, you see Millicent approach, and then from out of her mouth, this gigantic
Oh, that's
monster
perfectly
just
normal. Yeah, don't worry.
leaps at you.
My good.
You feel it pass through you. I would like you both to make fear rolls.
Oh, it tastes like kibble.
It's logic or empathy, remember?
Logic.
Yeah, try and rationalise what's happening to you.
I'm going to logic out of this one.
I've got a reroll. Beowulf Reborn gave me a
This is
reroll.
all entirely normal. It's fine.
Yeah.
No?
It's quite clear that that Her Lady Millicent has just vomited up a wolf man.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
perfectly sensible.
Yeah,
Is my roll coming through? It's not. Is
Yes,
it?
it just did.
Oh, no, it has
Sadly,
twice.
you
Oh,
did
okay.
not succeed.
Oh.
No, that's
So,
fair.
feeling almost sort of seeing this thing up close. I mean, when you saw it drag off your husband, it wasn't this close. It was a sort of shadowed shape in the darkness, and you were already injured from the accident. But seeing this thing so close and feeling so sort of viscerally near to the monstrosity before you causes you to panic. Flee, freeze, faint, or fight?
I think fight.
yeah. I think I was going to say Millicent is the kind of woman
Don't
that
shoot me.
Start shooting things.
Start shooting.
Look, you need to shoot where it went.
I'm going to try and shoot the ball, I think. The crystal ball. That seems like the logical thing to do.
Fair enough. Make a ranged combat roll then, please.
Oh God,
Sorry.
the ball is now atomized.
Oh.
Quite possible.
Shrapnel everywhere.
That's when Pete's character goes, "No, the war! No, I've been taken back to the shrapnel."
No,
Oh, my
0
lord.
successes.
You're on 3 ones in that.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh my word.
Blimey.
Oh wow, shall I
Oh,
re-roll?
crikey. Has Claire got a reroll? I think Claire's
Yeah,
got
I
a
have.
reroll.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
I'm going to
Now
re-roll
might be a
that.
good time to use that, because otherwise
Yeah.
that's shooting Albrecht.
Oh,
3
it's
ones
another
again.
Oh my word. Wow.
Not that it doesn't make any difference. It's just 0 successes on
So
Don't worry,
you
dice,
Albrecht's
isn't
the
it?
doctor.
spin
He
around
can
and you
patch himself
open
up.
fire with your rifle. Unfortunately, you open fire with your rifle at the couch that Albrecht went and laid on. And so can you roll your weapon damage for your rifle?
It's a
It's
2,
2.
isn't it? Yeah.
It's 2. Okay. So Albrecht, I'm assuming, has no armor on.
No.
no.
But you take
I-
1 of those points of
Sweet.
damage. The other one goes to the Shay Long.
No,
As
not
you-
so long.
Blows one of the legs off the Shay Long.
Off of Albrecht.
I was about to say, doesn't Albrecht only have 2 strength or 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would have like put you down to crimp.
So there's
what-
1 point of damage to Albrecht
Yeah.
and 1 point of damage to the Shay Long.
you take
as
one more
Ow.
point, yeah.
Lady Millicent opens up with her hunting gun.
Yeah, which is
Blam!
basically a small cannon.
I say this is not necessary.
I will.
Spills you out onto the floor as well,
Ah!
Albrecht.
In the
Uh,
arse.
I was
Pete,
really
you feel
very
kind of
comfortable.
inverted as this werewolf goes through you, and you
Yeah.
get the sense of whatever it was that you were looking at the reflection of being forced backwards through you to the floor, and you can hear sort of ripping and tearing sounds behind you.
I
And
wouldn't turn
Millicent is
around.
brandishing her weapon in front
Millicent's just like
Yeah.
gone crazy-eyed and just flung around and
Can
fired
I-
her
can
shotgun
I-
at the crystal ball.
of me. Can I just like step up to her, not take it away from her, but just try to like hand on a shoulder and hand on the gun to like
Push it upwards.
just
Yes,
to like
make
Yeah,
a
into your
close
face.
keep the
combat
barrel
roll.
away from anyone, kind of
Make a
thing.
close combat roll,
Oh,
but don't do
blimey.
any damage.
Yeah, like flip her over your shoulder. Like,
No.
Don't make any sudden movements, because I'm sure Sheba will savage you.
Yeah, no,
otherwise.
that as well. That as
that's
well.
what I say.
I'm more worried about the dog.
Millicent, make a close
No
combat roll.
successes. Bloody
Close
hell.
combat roll.
No, I'm joking. Don't actually do it. You'll kill him.
So you sort of step up and get in the
I know,
way.
say, cease fire, cease fire, cease fire.
That's an order. I look over to Heathcote.
Millicent,
Stay with me.
you've shot at this crystal ball that you saw the monster in, and you see the devastation that your attack causes as you hit random things. The thing wasn't really there, just like downstairs.
Including me.
And then suddenly the lieutenant is there in front of you, waving his hands and shouting, "Cease fire, cease fire."
Medic!
Bells are ringing.
Oh,
I think I am the medic.
Okay, medic, heal
I'm,
thyself.
I've got some simple bandages. Can I rush over and try to bandage up old Brooked?
Yes, you
Yeah.
can. That would be a medicine roll.
Of which I have.
We're gonna
no-
recreate.
Oh,
We're gonna recreate Mutant Year Zero, and someone's gonna try and heal a character and then kill them.
I'm the first one to die.
know.
Gen 2K has said in the chat,
Yes.
trying to grab rifles has worked out so well in Year Zero rules in the past.
Oh,
You rush over and you bandage up
Oh,
his wound, staunching the injury and stopping it from getting any worse. I'm
Where
going to
did
have
you
to
get
check
hit?
to see whether medicine heals things.
it stabilizes. I'm pretty
It
sure.
stabilizes, but I don't
Yeah,
think it
so
heals.
you're
I think
not-
you've
you're
got a
not getting
couple of
it.
days to like
Yeah. Where did
Pick
you
out
get? Where did
the
he get hit?
up in the shoulder
Oh,
because that was nearest the
High
the
up
bit
on
of the
the thigh
Shaylong
at the
that got
rear.
shot.
In the
Sitting
bottom, yeah.
muscle.
I was shot in the buttocks.
In the buttocks.
Guess maybe your theory about these things being visions might be correct. All in our heads, huh?
Yes, but
And the ripping and
shrapnel-
tearing sound that you heard behind you, Pete, has gone, as has any apparition that was in the room. Meanwhile, the other two of you out
Stay with
exploring.
me. Yeah, we hear the gunshot. I tell him to ignore it. Yeah, don't worry about that. It's fine. Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
You walk into the room opposite where they came from, and it is a corridor with a number of hooks on the wall. And there is a
Okay.
rusty sword
Ooh.
standing point down in one corner of the room. And
Okay.
judging by the positioning of the hooks on the wall, it looks like this was some form of armory. There are simple shelves that could hold shotgun shells, bullets, and such like. There are a few armor stands, but they don't seem to have anything on. And there are some boxes again in here. This is more sort of sturdy sea chests that are padlocked shut, though.
I think it's crowbar time. I walk over to one of the sturdy chests. I'd like to use my crowbar if possible.
As you go to crowbar open
Oh, here we go.
one of the boxes, you hear the telltale click of somebody preparing to fire some kind of gun at you.
Heathcote, do you have a gun on you?
No, I certainly
Okay.
do not.
Right, well, this isn't good then.
Mm.
Hello? Anyone got a gun?
Are you turning round?
I'm not turning around. You don't turn around.
I am turning round.
As
Holding
Heathcote turns
Holy
around,
Bible.
you
like
see
this.
the sort of stooped, squinty-eyed gentleman. Well, you assume it's him anyway. He appears to be in sort of three sections almost. It's like he's been squished, like a person made out of plasticine squeezed in the hand of a child.
Ooh.
Is all at wonky angles and doesn't fit right, but he's still pointing a shotgun directly at the back of Agnes's head.
Now. We were only investigating some peculiarities in. We mean no trespass against
Bang!
you.
There is a loud bang. Make a fear check, both of you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
figured.
I think I get a little biblical bonus.
I think
yes.
you do get a little biblical bonus.
It's basically the same for me either way, so I'm going to go empathy. And I'm probably going to have to use that bless, because empathy is only a 4. No, I won't. I succeed, because I got a 6.
So, yeah. I have...
People have shot at me before, it's fine.
standard. Yeah, I get to add my inspiration to my empathy roll, which is
Can we add
pretty
inspiration?
cool. I'm rolling like 1,000,000 dice, I think.
Oh, well, I can sauce myself if I need inspiration. That's literally what liquor does.
Yeah.
Oh, crikey.
Oh, wow.
3 successes. Oh, look at all those. Yeah. 7.
So you hear the report of the gunfire, but you immediately realise that it doesn't actually come from in this room at all. It's come from the room where the others all went.
Yeah.
What you've got, this chap isn't pointing a gun at Agnes. He's reloading a gun, which he then brings up and shoots upwards at something over his head before he falls to the ground. But he doesn't just fall to the ground.
Yeah.
He's like slams into the ground really quickly, like something's hit him into the ground, and sort of bursts into a cloud of little blue droplets that spray up the sides of the wall, passing completely through you.
He's cool. Is whatever was shooting at us gone?
I think the report issued from an adjoining chamber. Maybe I think we should leave and try and find
You
others.
leave. I'll secure the room.
So, what do you mean secure the room?
I've got to secure this contents of this chest with my crowbar.
I believe that may have been either the lieutenant or Lady Millicent firing their weapon, and we
crowbar, locked chest, armor.
Fat loots.
If you want to go and do your Bible-y stuff with them, that's fine. I'm not going to stop you.
I'm not leaving you alone in this place.
Okay. Ben, can I make a roll to crack open the chest?
Yes, you do.
Okay. So I think a crowbar only gives me a gear bonus of 1, doesn't it?
Yes.
For breaking into stuff.
What kind of breaking into stuff roll is there? I'm guessing it's a precision of some kind.
And force.
So would have thought.
Yeah, force actually. Yeah.
So it's just, I'm rolling 6 dice, but I'm not. I don't have any speciality in force, so I don't imagine this will go well. No, I got 2 successes.
Yeah, it's a fairly simple padlock. You've got a crowbar. Clank. You pop the lock off of the chest and open it up. Inside, there are some slightly dated looking firearms.
Okay.
Wrapped in oilcloth.
Mm-hmm.
Stacked fairly deep. There's actually a couple of things in here. Pistols, large pistols, like dueling pistols.
Okay, I will take as much as I can carry. If that's okay. Yeah. Can I?
Yeah, it is going to be armloads of guns. This isn't going to be a tall, subtle.
No, okay. How much? What can I carry on my person that wouldn't be
on your person? There's nothing sort of small and portable here. The smallest gun is no. There's no derringers. Okay. The smallest gun in here is about 1.5 feet long.
Okay.
There is a knife down at the bottom, which is clearly more suited to fighting with than your kitchen knife.
Also, there's a rusty sword. Don't forget that.
Yeah, there is the rusty sword in the corner. But there is quite a nice knife there that looks like it could be a little bit more portable.
Okay, I'll swap out my kitchen knife for a nice portable knife. And you said what else was in the room aside from the chest? A rusty
There's
sword.
the rusty sword standing up in the corner. There are other chests. There's more than one. There's about 4 chests in here.
Oh, but I'm assuming they'll be likely, was it Occam's razor? The simplest answer is the most obvious, or whatever. So they'll probably be also full of guns or whatever.
It's likely to be full of the stuff that would normally be hanging up in an armory such as
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
This is clearly some kind of weapons corridor or armory.
Did you
I
say there
went
was
to
like
the
ammo
wrong
lying
room.
about?
Any what? Camels?
Ammo lying
Ammo?
about.
No, there isn't any ammo lying about. There are shelves where it clearly once stood.
I'm kind of tempted just to pop all these chests, but
Might
I'm
be
really
in the
bored in
chests.
me rolling 3. Yeah.
Well, I won't
I'll
make you roll.
quickly-
You've rolled your pop open chests thing. We know you can do it. So
Okay.
let's go. If you want to pop open the rest of the chests, you can do.
I'm looking for something I can carry on my person. Anything portable. So just skip all the bazookas and.
There's nothing in here that is portable.
Sticks and
Unfortunately,
dynamite.
the other chests contain things like partial suits of armor.
Oh, that's enough.
I
Some
would like
leather.
one of those now.
Some leather
Well,
armor, some metal armor. Some of it looks quite archaic. There's one that's full of swords of varying
Right.
materials,
Yeah.
including flint, strangely enough,
Okay,
bronze,
fair enough.
silver,
Yeah.
odd things to be making swords out of.
Mhm.
Mistress Agnes, Miss Agnes, I really must suggest we hightail it. It's
Yes. Right. Now, what did we find in this room?
lots of firearms.
No, that's the wrong answer. We found nothing. There was nothing of worth in this
Cannot
room.
ask a man of God to lie for you.
Okay then, yeah, sure, yeah.
Meanwhile, back in the other room,
Ow!
Are you okay, Dr. Wagner?
Yeah, I just have some new holes in my arm. Thank you, Lady
You
Millicent.
had holes in your arm before this?
yeah, he's just got some new ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are new holes.
Millicent, are you okay?
She has had a-
Yes,
excellent
clearly what I
answer,
saw was
Joe.
just not there.
I feel I need to fetch my rifle. There's clearly something in the grounds or in the house that has murdered all of the people in this photo.
But that was 20 years ago. You think it is still here?
Well, these creatures are supernatural.
I'm still not convinced. Anything more than delusions.
Are you suggesting that these things might be in some way immortal? Yeah, they're monsters. Sorry, not there.
I mean, Sir Stephen did say that he promised us we would not come to any physical harm, so we're possibly not in any real danger.
Well,
How
as a
can he?
practitioner of the psychological sciences, the assurance of no physical harm is not a very great assurance. Hmm?
Certainly not in your case, I guess. No.
Well, also, case in point.
Yes. How could he make such a guarantee when we walk in here armed? It is
Unless
a
he's
strange
in
thing
league
to.
with the beast.
It was more to do with the fact that Millicent, when asked not to bring the rifle, just looked at them funny and was like, what do you mean I don't bring my rifle with me? I bring it everywhere.
Shotgun. Good
Please
heavens.
be ready.
Yeah. It's like the dog.
Can I smell fresh gunpowder from across the hallway, Ben?
That's not
No,
fresh.
you can't.
Very well. I suggest we go and see what the others have found and investigate the other chambers. I finished
Okay.
drawing the room and some of the make a few little notes.
If I was a betting man, I would expect to be finding Agnes maybe over an open box or something.
Keith, look at me, right? Look.
I
you
would
didn't
not
find-
take that wager.
No, you sure?
I would lose.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So as you make your way out of the room, you see on the opposite end of this sort of curved
Agnes
walkway,
got loads of guns coming out.
Agnes and Heathcote coming out of the room, having some kind of discussion.
Rock and roller in it.
Now, What did we see? Did we see
Guns.
any
You've asked me several
Yes,
times. There were
yes.
certainly firearms. There's
Yes,
no
there
doubt
is.
in my
and
mind.
that's all we found. That's all we found, right?
And,
Some guns.
and the
No,
peculiar
there's no
gentleman.
No,
Sorry?
there's only the guns.
What about the apparition?
What
Agnes,
apparition?
Heathcote.
Yeah, what is it? There's
Lieutenant.
guns in there. You like guns? Guns? You want guns? Guns in there.
We witnessed another manifestation of, well,
Oh God, I'm never taking you anywhere ever again.
do you deny what your eyes beheld?
No, but knowledge is power. Why would you just willingly give up any information ever?
We are collectively investigating this hall,
So
we should share
And
whatever information we
collectively-
find.
I'm collectively withholding anything I find.
No, you're individually withholding.
Yeah. I don't think Agnes really understands the whole concept of collective.
I think you're collectively interacting with all of the possessions within the building.
But let's
No,
not
I'm
lose
not.
sight of
I left all the guns in there.
what happened to you.
When I got
Well, he was
shot.
the guy that got shot, clearly, from the
Yeah.
gunshot that I heard.
Who
Yeah,
fired upon
Albert's
you?
shoulder is all bandaged up.
What'd you do?
There was
And I was lying on the couch.
Okay.
It
They
was
were
one of the manifestations fired upon you.
The manifestation
that's
was rather
probably it.
startling, and perhaps we should leave it at that.
Was
There
it?
was a spiritualist's orb at the center of the table, and a large feral beast spectre leapt out of Millicent and into me,
Mhm.
but not me. It's rather
Mhm.
disturbing.
No, you
And then
became
someone
And I
shot
point on the
the doctor.
photograph. This
Lieutenant.
lady, the Olympe Saint-Germain, the Parisian spiritualist. This lady
Yeah.
was
So what you're suggesting is that there was no fire and it was a big slobbering monster that came and then just murdered everyone.
Yeah, it's basically as where the clues are leading us.
I wonder why there was a fire. I actually forgot to check where the fire started in the library
Well,
to see if
if you're-
particular books were being destroyed.
It's kind of obvious. If you're murdering people, you don't want people to know how you murdered them. So you put a distraction like, oh no, there was an accidental fire that killed them all.
But if you
I
are
would do
a
it.
The fire
slavering
didn't burn the
beast,
building to
why
the
would you set
ground.
fire?
So it doesn't need to burn it to the ground. If the bodies were removed, we would just assume they died in the library.
So there are 2 remaining rooms on this floor of the hall, and then there are the stairs leading up.
Can I
Now,
go in
if
the
you
room with
guys
the
are
guns?
okay to go for a little bit longer, we can probably fit in 1, maybe 2 more, depending on how you want to roll with it. But I don't think we're going to
Yeah,
complete the
fine.
entire hall today, and that's okay.
Should
So
go into the
that's up
next
to you
door.
guys.
Yeah,
This
let's
floor?
have another
Yeah,
look.
so
Perhaps
number
we should
3.
all stay together for this.
Yeah,
The,
I
the
would like
2
to be
remaining doors,
behind
there's one door on the side where the seance chamber was, and there's one door on the side where the weapons room was.
Okay.
We should go through the weapons chamber just to double check what's in there.
I haven't touched
It looks to be
anything in
quite
there.
dated weapons. Everything in there is at least 20 years old.
Is there a sword I could pick up?
There's a
Rusty
kitchen
sword.
knife blade.
It's a rusty
It's
Not
a
the
rusty
rusty
sword propped up in
not the
one
rusty
corner. There are a number of short blades.
The rusty sword, does it look like
yeah.
it had, in days past, it was a fine weapon?
It's a chunky old thing. It looks like it was once like a claymore
Oh,
or
wow.
something. It's a big old sword. But in one of the boxes, which are mysteriously open and with broken locks, there is a cavalry saber.
Oh, hello. I'll take that out and give it a bit of a polish on a cloth.
It's
Now,
the
Steve, you
most
trust me?
modern looking thing in the room,
Does it
ironically.
have
'Cause the
a
guns,
baldric and scabbard and...
it doesn't have. It has a scabbard, but no baldric. It's got the loops to connect it to one, but
Okay,
there's nothing attached at present.
I'll just carry it with the scabbard on then.
So next to the weapons room, there is a door leading out of the weapons corridor and back around into the other room that was facing onto there.
There are 2 doors, sorry.
So yeah, there is a door that led into the weapons room and a door that
Right.
leads out of the weapons room,
Into an adjoining
which
one.
adjoins into the room that was available, accessible from the corridor next door as well.
So it's all the
Okay.
same. Sorry, this is where my very bad brain doesn't work. So there's only one more room to check at the moment.
No, there are 2 more
One-
rooms on this
two.
floor,
One on either side.
one on either side. The
And they
one
can both be
next to the
accessed from
weapons
the
room
hall
can be
and
accessed from
the
the
other-
hall
yep.
and from the weapons room.
Okay.
We can take advantage of this situation and invite Agnes to investigate one way, and we go the other way.
Yeah.
So we end up in the same
room.
place, and Agnes is like, "Bye, suckers." Space.
I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. You were with me and you saw how quickly I wanted to just crack open those chests. So
Mm.
I suggest we all go together.
yeah. All right. Fine.
So is that the room you're going to go into then?
Agnes,
Well,
which
as you
room
said,
did
if
you
I
want to
open-
investigate next?
I don't know, which room did you want to investigate next?
Well,
Yeah,
we've
why-
made all the
why are we
choices
looking
so
at-
far, so we'll leave this one up to you. Please.
Okay. I would like to check that one, and I point to him on the left. I go right.
I'll follow.
That's fine.
So the one on the left then, over by the weapons room, that's one room, and you're going into the right-hand room.
Yeah.
We're all
which is a
going into the
bedroom.
right-hand room.
We're all going
Yeah.
after Agnes.
We're
bedroom,
all
that's
We're all
following.
following Agnes.
It's a
Agnes-
bedroom. Sheets draped over everything. It looks very well appointed. There's a large double 4-poster bed, nice carpets, although as near as you can tell, they're rolled up and propped up in one corner. There are chests of drawers and cupboards and several full-length mirrors. Some of those foldy board things that ladies get dressed behind in an alluring fashion. A vanity
Draping
table.
things over the top.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, what's in the... I
This
don't
is
know, I'll
clearly
just
a
go
lady's
around-
chamber.
Yeah, I'm going to go rooting around in some drawers.
There we go.
Have a look around in the corners behind the dust sheets.
But how are we supposed to find anything out without looking?
Yeah, you got to look around. Just
Yeah, exactly.
Heathcote
So,
is very
yeah, make an
uncomfortable in a
observation
lady's
check
chamber.
then, Nye.
just saying that.
All right.
or an
and-
investigation check, whichever you
Investigation.
prefer. Same again. Anybody who wants to take a look around, investigation or observation, have a quick poke around the room.
I think it would be
Isn't-
improper for us to remain here for.
They'll be fine. They're dead.
Finally.
Heathcote would just be quick.
Success.
Yeah, they're dead. It's really not a bother. So logic 4.
Albrecht, tucked
maybe
down
we
the
should do
back
one
of the
observation.
vanity, you find a small crystal bottle
Ah.
with a squeeze bulb on it.
Does it smell like the perfume that we smelled from the room?
It does. There's the tiniest amount of almost honey thick liquid in the bottom of this vial, and it smells exactly the same as the perfume from the seance room.
I've wasted this, but I don't care.
Millicent, poking around, looking in corners, lifting up dust sheets. This is definitely the bedchamber of a young lady, and one who's quite liberated, you would say.
Good. What has she found?
Yeah,
It-
now I want to know.
In your youth, this would
Careful,
have been
Ben.
this would have been the bedroom of a sort of liberated young lady who was forward thinking and
Yeah.
Found some trousers.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
go that far.
There you
You
go.
Really
didn't
not
go that
trousers.
far. Trousers are too
Understood.
far. Then. I got 4 successes.
You
by the way.
find Agnes, you find a book in French
Excellent. Pocket that.
of poetry with a handwritten note in the front cover.
Cool. I don't even look at it. I just absentmindedly pick up the book, pop it right in my, I don't know.
Stash.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, it's a stash.
Pillowcase.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically,
Yeah, it's just a pillowcase that I've wrapped around my waist. Yeah.
somehow we've got a kender in our party. Is that what you're saying?
A grumpy
We did
one.
promise Pete one from somewhere.
It's
That's
not
the
in the
worst one
Dragonlance game.
But-
yeah.
Almost disappointingly and almost relaxingly, nothing horrendous manifests in this room and tries to murder you.
Oh, I like this room. It's nice.
Which is in and of itself suspicious.
Only if you are of a suspicious mind, Lieutenant.
Is
Can't
there,
go on with suspicious minds for sure.
so is there any stone left unturned in here, or is everyone pretty much just rooted around?
This room
and-
has been,
It's been
you
trashed.
would say that you have very, very thoroughly checked this room. You wouldn't have
Yeah.
minded getting your hands on that perfume bottle, but Albrecht got there first.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm assuming this handwritten note will be worth something.
It is indeed curious. I think that we've not encountered anything through the duration of our
Well, it's just means
investigation.
nothing died here.
But perhaps
There's also no burn damage in either this room
Oh.
or the seance room, and both of them are above the library.
Hmm.
Fire was not.
It was not out of
Normal.
control.
No. But as I said, if someone was trying to cover their tracks, a fire kind of is a good way to go about it.
I think that the
That-
fire
it
may
makes
have been
no
used
sense.
to destroy something in particular.
Yeah,
Probably.
more likely. This is not a distraction. You are not trying to hide the bodies. You would burn the whole place. And the fire was very controlled if it has not come up this far into the house.
True, but smoke.
It shows a certain level of skill and forethought. Fire,
Yes, I would agree with
fire
that.
and explosives are not things that are trifled with.
I'm
Yeah,
beginning to wonder if we will not find that at least one, maybe two of this previous group did not die horrifically. And
I
this-
think they all died horrifically. That's just a guess.
Well,
Heathcote,
I rather hope not.
you would be very keenly aware that the chap in the weapons room did not die in the same way as
Yeah.
the lady in the writing room. The lady in the writing room was torn apart by something with claws and teeth, and the man in the weapons room was crushed by something large and powerful.
And I impart that to the rest of the party while also inquiring if they could share a bit more information about what they saw, because then again we can put all of that together. Because I think from what out of character we've seen like 4 different apparitions that have suffered fate, which we don't know about Agnes's.
Yeah, out of
Either.
character, there's a werewolf and a giant, but in character,
But I think there's more. So
yeah,
right?
definitely.
I mean, what we've encountered
some
more,
kind
like-
of elemental or magic spell or some. You're right, it's controlled, but Agnes is being purposely obtrusive.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
obtrusive.
no, we know that. As we're just
Yeah.
more thinking that there might be
I'm with you guys. Yeah,
might
it's
be
quite clear they were
different
trying to
flavors
destroy
of
the book.
monster rather than just one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was a coalition. They teamed up. They put on little badges and were like, "Boo! Yeah, we're gonna go kill some people."
So banging our head together, and the Reverend Heathcote is.
Yeah,
But
don't
I also humbly posit that if perhaps this chamber is in some way protected from whatever manifestations we've witnessed thus far.
Or, and this is a guess, do you impart the dead lassie in the writing room?
We've already mentioned that.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. You did do that. Okay,
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
there to see it. Right, and she was the young one, yes.
Indeed, yes.
So this was her room, more than likely, yeah. If we're doing basic deduction.
I'm not
Probably
certain.
not. No.
This looks
No?
like.
No,
Okay.
I think this is Olimpe's room.
Oh, well,
It
it
joins
still
onto the
proves my
spirit,
point. If nobody was here to die, then they wouldn't have gone in here, would they?
Because she died in the next room.
Exactly. So it could just be nobody bothered to come in here because there was nobody in here to
Don't
kill.
think we have enough information right now to
Yeah, it's
deduce
called a
what's
guess.
happened yet. So I
But-
think we should possibly move on to next. There's nothing in this chamber, no echoes. Perhaps in the next we will see some other clue.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Right, and I think what we will actually do is we will hold it there in that room, ready for you to go into the next room next week to continue your investigation of Hoxne Hall, because it's getting a little late or a little early if
fair
you're
enough.
Beowulf. So we'll call it there, and you can continue the investigation next week. Thank you very much to lovely audience for coming along
Yeah.
to take a look at what was going on, to investigate the haunted hosts of Hoxne Hall. I may have had a glass of wine, but I can still say it.
Investigate.
Hoxne Hall.
Please join us next week as we press further up into the hall and investigate what happened to the remaining members of the Lantern Society.
They're all fine.
And just to be clear, I have not heard
Surprise!
anything about the Scottish guys.
They're all going to be hiding behind a chair.
Yeah, it was a big joke.
In
20
pain
years.
and misery.
Join us on Thursday when we will be heading back to Kryn for our Dragonlance game, Dragons on
An Ashen
seasonal
Breeze.
thing.
Yep.
On an Ashen Breeze, that's the
Yes.
one. Sorry,
You've
I
just
wanted
seen
to say
a dragon,
Flame.
haven't you?
Yes.
Just seen a
Yeah,
blue
we'd
dragon.
seen a dragon, and I wanted to go and kill it, and they wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
And then
We would've.
next week,
Apology.
We have a giveaway on the Dragonlance show as well.
we do have a giveaway on Dragonlance, and on Dragonlance we are giving away a year's Pro Incarnate account, which is very worth having.
How do
I
you?
have
Sorry.
one.
Sorry, I do.
Norman Smith, you're quite right. It will also be Geron time,
Yes, it will be.
the Geron phase. And then next week we have a third game appearing on Wednesday for a short while.
Yes.
Gen 2K, our very own sub-intern,
Yeah, I'm the king intern. I'm the
is
leader.
going to be running a Coriolis game
Yes.
on Wednesday the 14th for a couple of weeks
Mhm.
with a few people from the channel. So hop on
So
board and
me.
come and watch that.
Yes.
Safino, are
Yeah.
you producing that one?
Oh yes, I am. I'll be the man behind the scenes.
The
for
man behind the
that series,
scenes. Splendid.
Man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. that's
Pay
what
no
I'm
attention
going
to
for.
the man behind the curtain. But thank you very much for coming along and joining us this evening. Don't forget, next week we've got another giveaway on this channel. On this channel, we're all on the same channel. We've got another giveaway on this show, and then we got a giveaway for Dragonlance as well.
Mhm.
And then following Dragonlance, I will let Pete make a super secret announcement on Thursday about what's going on there. It's good news, it's exciting news, and it does link into what we're doing now. But I will let you find out more on Thursday.
We're getting a puppy. Yeah, we're getting a puppy.
Yes.
I best pull the spider.
Goldberg puppy is a surprise.
Anyway, thank you very much and good night.
Good night.
Bye bye.